What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm up here today. Look, middle. I moved because today we're going to be looking at some cards and we're going to be looking at the 12 pitchers that have the Outlier Quirk. Discussing them a little bit, how to best deploy them because they're not all, created equally. They're not necessarily guys that are just universally seasons or universally BR. So let's just dive in right away. Let's start with the common. Now, I did a pretty thorough check through the inventory, but if I missed anybody, please let me know. I apologize ahead of time if I did, but I think I got them. I think I got all 12 here. We're starting with Brusdar Gratterall. If you don't know what the Outlier Quirk is, I suggest, I think I should go ahead and explain that first. The Outlier Quirk is a new one this year for guys who throw harder than the caps that MLB The Show has on a particular pitch. And it's allowing them to reach those extra 2 to 3 miles per hour that in previous years they couldn't. Because they couldn't really raise the entire bar to accommodate a Jordan Hicks or an Aroldis Chapman without kind of messing everything up. So this was the solution, a quirk, and I think it was a brilliant idea. So this is awesome, and I'm really excited about it. We start with Brusdar Gratterall, a common starter. So you already know BR worthy right off the rip. We're not really taking a lot of commons this year because of the way BR works. But this could be a sneaky one. You put Gratterall in as one of your starters. You don't use him necessarily as a traditional starter. You bring him in pretty much as a reliever. Or if you do want to start him, you just get those first 3 outs. Look at those pitches. He's got 5 pitches. The sinker has the outlier. Outlier 1 means it's their top pitch. Outlier 2 means it's their second. Nothing else beyond that. There's no outlier 3 or 4. So, his metrics aren't great, obviously. So you're going to be taking a little bit of a risk to use him. But I think it could actually pay off because he throws so hard with the sinker especially. So that sinker is going to be running up to 96 through 99, which is really strong. So Gratterall could be an interesting bullpen piece for you, even though he is a starter, with the way we can use pitchers these days in Battle Royale. And maybe an event that has a tight cap on overall usage. And Charlotte had to sneeze, so excuse her for that. Next up is Jimmy Cordero. Now, bear with me as I scroll through the team. There's an easy way to put them all together that would have been cool, but I couldn't think of anything that would allow me to do that. So, I believe Cordero is on this team. Where are you, Jimmy? Jimmy! Yep, there he is. Sorry, he's a 70. I should have wrote their overalls. I just wrote their name and the pitch that they had, but I didn't do their overalls. So, Jimmy Cordero also has the sinker quirk. But he has sinker, 4-seam, change sliders. He's got the pitches that are really actually perfect for a reliever. Again, we're talking about a bronze, so the metrics aren't great. So there really is limited use as far as how you can best deploy him. But if you find yourself in a situation where there's a tight cap on something, whether it's an event or as a BR pick, I think that Outlier Quirk is reason enough to take somebody like this and see if you can get those 3 batters out with him. Or if there's 2 outs, all he has to do is come in and get the 1 out. By the way, dude is either wearing a jersey that's too small for him or yoked or both. Either way, hats off to him. So Jimmy Cordero, sinker, and he has stopper, by the way. So that's another good quirk that actually plays in-game, performs better when the team is behind. So bring him in when you're in a little bit of a deficit. It lets him play up a little bit. So he probably plays more like a mid-bronze than he does a 70. So he's kind of interesting there for the White Sox. Let's move over to the Cardinals. This is a big one. A lot of people are going to be really interested in this guy. I already mentioned him when I was talking about why this quirk had to be made, and it is indeed Jordan Hicks, who is a bronze because he's only a 72, and a lot of it is due to that command and control that he has or doesn't have, as it were. Sinker, slider, 4-seam, outlier 1, so the sinker is going to be off the charts. Don't worry, the 4-seamer is too. The 4-seamer can hit 101 without the Outlier Quirk, and he has a nasty breaking slider. So there's lots to like here with Jordan Hicks. He's going to be a lot better this year. Obviously, you have to worry about hitting your pitches. So be careful in the middle of the zone. You should really work the edges and try not to get caught in that middle there because you can leave something fat, and it'll come in at 99, and it'll leave at 130. It can go really far. But he is going to be a popular BR pick. Totally understand that. An events pick where we have a cap on our cards. If you're starting a custom league where you have an overall restriction in Diamond Dynasty, whether it's 75 or 80, he could be an interesting piece for your bullpen as well. You're not using him as an A piece or anything, but you can have him in that bullpen, break glass in case of emergency type of deal. Next up is Joe Kelly for the Dodgers, another bronze. So we got a lot of bronzes that have this quirk. And let's see here. He's a 71. Now, he doesn't quite have the height on his per nines of the hits and Ks, but his control is better than somebody like a Jordan Hicks. He's got 4 pitches. His knuckle curve is his number 1 pitch, so he gets an outlier 2 here, so that 2-seamer can work in the 99 to 100 range. And that's incredible because 2-seamers are good this year, y'all. In past years, I've had major issues with 2-seamers. I couldn't trust them at all. I would basically never throw them. Now, so far this year, early on, I am finding a lot of trustworthiness in quality 2-seamers. You know this is going to be a good one. You bury that in righty-righty, that's really going to work. I think you can even work it running away from an opposite hander as well. But right now, I'm mostly using 2-seamers, same-handedness, righty-righty, lefty-lefty, burying them inside. They're working like nasty sinkers, and they've got a lot of movement. So Joe Kelly, definitely someone to consider. And because he has a little bit more control, you don't have to be as scared to use him as maybe somebody like a Jordan Hicks or Jimmy Cordero. Next up, we go over just one team to the Padres, Andres Munoz. If you follow the Padres or just like to follow interesting middle relievers in general, you might have seen how crazy he was last year. He was really impressive. He's got the outlier 1 on his 99-mile-per-hour fastball, so he's going to be up over 100 for sure, and it's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice. Now, he doesn't have a lot of break, so you're looking at fastballs a lot here with Munoz. So if you're running into somebody who is really behind on heaters and they're not able to catch up to it, Munoz is your guy. You want to be careful with that slider because if it without a big break, it can be problematic, and those are the ones that are going to be those cement mixer or they're going to hang. So be careful. Next up, this one's a really fun one. This is somebody I've already taken in BR a couple times. And I don't know how much I've used him, though, because my BR runs have not been good so far, y'all. I'm having trouble. I gotta get my game up for sure. You hear Shark crying in the background there. Don't know why, but because she's existing, so she likes to cry. And it is Emmanuel Clase. He was part of the Corey Kluber trade. He's the main piece, and then he sustained a big injury. He's going to be out for a while. Of course, with the delay to the season, that's going to help him get back much quicker. He's got an outlier 1 on his cutter. So you're talking 99 to 101 on a cut piece. That is filthy. You see the 80 break on it as well. That's going to be really gross. And he has perfect hit in K9. I mean, right? If you have a 69, it's absolutely perfect. That's what I thought. So I think he's ready to go. Again, another guy who struggles with control. We got a lot of these guys in the bronze tier. Control is their biggest issue. So, if you're someone who's very confident in your analog or meter usage or pulse, I don't want to forget pulse, folks, or classic. I think classic, you don't really have control over what you do. I think you just press a button. But the other 3 have some stick skill to them. And if you think you're really good with hitting your spots, then these guys can be really good for you because you can maximize their insane outlier velo while also hitting your spots pretty nicely. So Emmanuel Clase, I really haven't I've drafted him in 4 different drafts and he's never even come in yet. That tells you how quickly I've been going through my BR drafts. It's a bummer. Maybe not 4 drafts, maybe 2 or 3. But either way, I still haven't gotten him in the game yet. Next up is a very popular one. He was one of the guys I ran to immediately when I heard about this quirk, and it is another bronze, and it's Jose Alvarado, who I don't have yet. He was very popular last year as a lefty in BR. He was a silver, fell down a little bit. Look why, look at his BB9, but his control's 64, so that counterbalances it a little bit. So you're going to have a little bit better control on the pitches, but the BB9 is still going to make it difficult to consistently spot with him. But look at the hit 9, K9, and the velocity and break. He's got the outlier 1 on his 2-seamer, so again, going to be darting those 2-seamers down and in on lefties, running them away from righties. It's going to be nasty because he's got really, really good break on them. Definitely taking Alvarado in BR drafts this year for sure. And his teammate also got it. This was an interesting combo, a righty-lefty combo that you could regularly get in BR, a pair of silvers last year in Alvarado and Diego Castillo. As you can see, his command isn't as challenged as Alvarado's, but his per nines aren't quite as good. They're still really good though, 78-80. We have no problem with issues at 78 and 80. That definitely works. 99 velo, 99 break, and we got an outlier 2. So his sinker is going to be pushing up into that near triple-digit mark. Plus, his fastball already is on its own. Doesn't need it. At 99 or at 98, you can get to 100 just by throwing strong fastballs. So he's going to have 2 pitches that are going to be really pushing up in velocity. Excited to use some Diego Castillo this year. In fact, I already have 2 2/3, and he's done pretty well. Hasn't given up a run yet. So Diego Castillo, definitely someone to use in events. BR, I think you could put him in seasons right now too. He can be in the middle of your bullpen in seasons, and I don't think you'd have a problem doing that. Next up, and as you can tell, we're going in tier order. I didn't see any other silvers. So again, if I missed somebody, please let me know. I did a pretty thorough check of the inventory to make sure I wasn't missing anybody. But I'm not perfect. Maybe I did. Next up is Noah Syndergaard. Now, I was very excited when this came through. Outlier 1 on his sinker. We know his stuff is nasty. 2 years ago, his live series card was excellent. Last year, I don't think a lot of people used it because it wasn't that great. I was excited. I got him right away. He got beat up for me yesterday. It was tough. Now, it's only 6 innings. His first start, I think, was 1 inning, and then somebody quit. And then yesterday, he went 5, or 2 and 4. Either way, it's been 2 starts, but 1 was shortened because the person quit out. We got the win. And then yesterday, he got knocked around a bit, gave up a bunch of hits. And as you can see, he's got a 65 hit 9. So you do have to keep that in mind that, you can end up giving up some of those junk hits with a bad hit 9 if you're missing spots. And I was missing a few spots, so that's on me. But it was a little bit frustrating because I thought on some of them I thought I was really hitting the spot, and my opponent was still getting hits. But hey, sometimes it's your opponent, man. Sometimes you tip the cap and you move on. You don't complain because they're trying too. You see this in real life, and something that I make sure I remember. I force myself to remember it when I start to get frustrated about guys hitting good pitchers' pitches. That's possible, right? Just because you made a good pitch doesn't mean they can't execute a quality hit. Both sides are trying. Oh, you're over there. I thought you were. She started back there. Now she's over there. What are you doing? Why are you crying? Come over here. Come here. We got a few more to talk about. You can come here and help me with these. Come on, Char. Oh my God, she's pouting so hard, y'all. Oh my goodness. The pout is intense. Let me show you a full screen here. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, can we help you? No, I'll just be over here by myself because nobody likes me, even 1%. Such a crybaby. Such a crybaby. Anyway, we got a few more here to talk about. We've got 3 diamonds. One of them you definitely know about because I already mentioned. 2 you might be a little bit unaware of depending on how much you've been in the market and been paying attention to these cards because they're not live series. So first one, boom, we're going into the flashbacks. And it is the recently released Michael Kopech. So I forgive you if you missed this one because he just came out yesterday on Monday the 16th. So Outlier 1 on his 99-mile-per-hour fastball. My boy going to be hitting 102 on that piece. He's got 5 pitches, absolute monster. This card is awesome. I haven't used it yet, but it looks brilliant. I can't wait to use him. I'm actually really, really, really excited about it. He's pretty affordable, too. I mean, if you really want Michael Kopech, just buy the card outright because he costs basically as much as the pack. So, instead of risking the opportunity, that you would get the low tier, just buy the Kopech and then go from there. I think is the way to play it. If that's who you really want. Obviously, if you're trying to spike the Jesus Luzardo or who's the other one? Oh, dang it. Royce Lewis. Memory came through. Then you can take the gamble if you want, but you might get that low tier and then you'd have to buy Kopech outright anyway. But he's awesome. And then from the first prospect set, Nate Pearson, he drew a lot of attention. He was the rare set, and now his price is going up because he's no longer out there. Now you can still get him in the monthly program pack, and I hope I get the good luck of doing that because I should have bought him when he was around 45, and I greatly regret that. He does have an Outlier 1 on his fastball. He'll be hitting, I saw him hit 103 alive Dude is absolutely insane. Look at these metrics. Hit 996, K 992, solid control in BB9, 61 BB9. It's about average. That's all right. That's not bad. You shouldn't be throwing too many meatballs, especially if you're dealing and your confidence is up. And then 99 velo, 97 break, 86 stamina. Nate Pearson, Michael Kopech, they're nuts. And of course, the guy that they pretty much made this for, you already know. You're waiting for me to get to a roll this. There he is. Look at his disgusting per-nines. Yes, he has control issues. A lot of times it's not going to matter. Your opponent's not even going to be able to hit it. And he's got the outlier 1 on the fastball. Dadoy. And he got a sinker this year, y'all. And we looked it up. He threw a sinker about 10% of the time last year. So it's legit, too. They didn't just give him like a phantom sinker. As if he needed that. And two-seamers worked this year. Chapman could be absolutely insane. And he's very affordable at around $23,000 if you kind of meet in the middle there of the buy now and sell now. Put him in your bullpen. There's your lefty. And, I mean, he's good virtually every year. Like, I can't remember a year where he was, like, truly bad. I know some people weren't great with him last year, but that was more of an outlier of their own where most people were still very good. Even if it wasn't the live series, maybe you were good with the All-Star. I was bad with the silver one, but that one had, like, no control. So that makes sense. The Diamond ones, though, live series, I was really good with. His All-Star, I think I was okay with. I had maybe like one blow-up outing that kind of inflated his ERA, but overall I think his whip was still pretty good. But yeah, Chapman, of course, has this. Well-deserved. Absolutely insane. So there it are. There they are, the 12 outliers. And I'll review them again. We've got, going from common up, Brusdar Graterol on the Dodgers, Jimmy Cordero on the White Sox, Jordan Hicks on the Cardinals, Joe Kelly on the Dodgers, Andres Munoz on the Padres, Emmanuel Clase on the Indians, Jose Alvarado and Diego Castillo on the Rays, Noah Syndergaard on the Mets, Michael Kopech, his prospect card on the White Sox. His live series does not have it. Maybe they'll add it. Nate Pearson, prospect card on the Blue Jays. And, of course, live series, Aroldis Chapman. So get out there, get some of these outlier cards, get that extra bit of velo because there are swings and misses this year, y'all. Remember last year you could fall off everything and stay in at bats. That's not the case this year. We've seen a lot more swings and misses, and this outlier quirk is going to play into that even more. Like and subscribe if you like this video. I do appreciate you guys watching. I got another March to October coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching.